guys, it's AFairy1985 here, and I'm going to be doing a... I don't even have the phone with me, and I even start the freaking video. Shows how good of a reviewer I am. But I'm going to be reviewing, actually after 1 year of use on the LG Optimus S. I reviewed this actually about January of this year. Beginning of this year, about January 1st or so, and I reviewed it. I did a full review on this phone after using it for about a month. I did an unboxing of it on December 16th, and that's actually exactly why I'm going to be doing a review now. It's December 11th, and I'll be doing this review to pretty much say how the phone has been to me and how good of a phone it's actually been for the past year or so. So I don't know if you guys have actually gotten a hold of an LG Optimus S. It's a really super basic phone from Sprint, but it's not so basic to the point where it's horrible. It's actually moderately fast. It's probably one of the best phones in my opinion on Sprint. It's actually not one of the best, but it is. It's not one of the best in terms of specs, but it is one of the best in terms of quality and not crashing like a computer does. So I've actually messed with a lot of other phones. I've messed with the Epic, I've messed with the Evo, I've messed with the Evo 3D, I've messed with the Evo Design, the Galaxy S2, which in my opinion, the Galaxy S2 Epic Touch is probably the best phone on Sprint so far. I've messed with the iPhone on Sprint, and the iPhone really doesn't belong to Sprint. I think that the iPhone actually should stick with AT&T and maybe Verizon, but so far of what I've seen on Sprint, the iPhone doesn't really give any more of an edge at all. So I'm not trying to stray you away from getting an iPhone. An iPhone is an awesome phone, especially the iPhone 4S, dual-core processor. It's actually a pretty good phone. It runs fast, there's no lag. The only thing that they're having issues with is battery. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to review this phone. Due to the fact that everybody has poor issues with battery. This thing has a 1500 milliamp battery with a 600 megahertz single-core processor. Now, I don't know if you know what that means, but I do, so I'm going to try to explain it. Whenever you have a big processor, like the new phones who have 1.2 and 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processors, they need big batteries. Like the Galaxy S2 Epic Touch, that one has an 1850 milliamp an hour battery, and it has a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core, I think. I can't recall, but I think it's a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core. And with that battery, it lasts a pretty long time, and it's a good battery for that phone. For this is a 1500 milliamp with a single core 600 megahertz. This thing is 4 times less powerful than a Galaxy S2, meaning the battery life on this is phenomenal. I can go a whole entire day and still have about 20 to 30% with rough use, with texting, internet usage, practically anything, calling, games. Well, games, that's a different story. On this phone, if you have it on a full charge, you can play Angry Birds for maybe about 3 hours, and then the battery will go out. 3 or 4 hours, I think. I don't know, it just depends, really. But about 5 hours maybe on gameplay. But I can last a full day with moderate to heavy use on this phone, leaving with actually heavy use the whole entire day, moderate use to have 20 to 30% at the end of the day. And it's still a pretty good phone. Recently, if you actually start trying to mess with the phone, such as getting new launchers and stuff that Android offers, there will be a little bit of lag that will happen, and applications may start to crash. I've noticed that recently the camera application, for some reason, has crashed. It just keeps crashing every single time I try to take a picture. That may be due to the fact of the update that they gave to the phone of Android 2.3, which is Gingerbread, but I'm not entirely sure. I actually have to do a little bit more research on that to see if there's any specific reasons why the camera or any of the applications crash. But so far, over this whole entire year, this phone has actually done me really good. This is an amazing phone. You can still get the phone now. I think it's free on Sprint with a new line or a new contract, or if you're upgrading, it's free right now, I think. It's just as free as when I got it a year ago. And it's still a pretty good phone, considering all the phones that are coming out, which are dual-core, and there's now going to be coming out with the NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor, which is quad-core. It's actually a 5 cores. There's a 5th companion core for it, so it's actually 5 cores more than this phone is. So those processors are coming out inside phones. The first tablet is going to be the Zoom 2, I think, but it's called the XY board, is the alternate name for it. But that one's coming out with the Tegra 3, which is 5 cores. This has a single core. This phone, if you're just a texter, if you're just going on Facebook, if you're going on the internet to surf for a little bit and not really looking for really big websites, if you're just going to mainly Google or YouTube or doing something out on the apps like that, it is a really nice phone for those applications. If you're just using it for a standard phone, a little bit of internet usage, a small amount of games, it's still a really good phone. I've upgraded. I actually got the update for Gingerbread I think about 3 months ago. And so far on Gingerbread, this phone really isn't designed for Gingerbread. It should have stayed on Froyo, because there are some differences when it came with Gingerbread. And I don't know, there's a little bit of messing up that I've seen. One of the good things about this phone is that you can have a lot of widgets, and it will still run really, really nice. So, it's actually a pretty good phone. Seriously, it is. So I would recommend this phone. After a year of use, if you're still looking to get an upgrade and you're still on a feature phone, which is kind of ridiculous, or if you're on a big phone on Sprint, like an Evo, or one that takes a lot of battery and doesn't last all day, and you don't really use the phone for its full potential, downgrade. That's your best bet. Downgrade to the LG Optimus S. Or if you don't downgrade, maybe upgrade to an iPhone 4. Not the 4S, but the 4. The 4 has amazing battery life. It still has a good processor. It's still up there in the mid-range smartphones. This is a low end now, due to the fact that it has a 600 megahertz single core compared to all the ones. But the cool thing is this has 512 megabytes of RAM. Some of the new phones actually have 512 megabytes of RAM still. Some of the newer phones have a gigabyte of RAM. But the amount of RAM on here, it doesn't lag that much. I actually get up to about 300 megabytes of RAM with the Android system running and everything. So overall, the usage on this phone has been amazing. The camera quality isn't the best, but it's something that can get you day by day. It'll actually, you can take standard pictures, standard video. You can send video, and it'll convert it to those it'll convert it to the sending format, and it's overall a pretty good phone. It's not the best phone. It's not a crappy phone. It is a phone that you can rely on, pretty much. And that's pretty much it. That's my review of the LG Optimus S after 1 year of usage. And to me, I give it out of 10, out of 5, because I think they do 5s. Yeah, they do out of 5 on Sprint.com. Out of 5, I give this phone a 4.5. It's not the best, but it is a really good, reliable phone. I give it a 4.5. The Galaxy S2, if I were able to use it for a while, I would have to see, but I'll probably give it higher than this phone. But this phone, seriously, if you're still on a feature phone, or if your phone has too much battery life, or doesn't have enough battery life, and you want a better phone with better battery life, get the LG Optimus S. It's still on Sprint. You can still go get it. And if once it goes off Sprint, you can still get it, because you can go on Amazon or eBay and find one. So that's pretty much it, and that was my review. Thanks, everybody. Bye.